Hi, this is ALicia DOwns, RN, MSN, CDCES, Director of Patient Care and Education at Integrated Diabetes Services, bringing you another video on Control-IQ use. We're going to do a series of these. This one's on some X2 and Control-IQ basics and basic user tips that just make life with this thing a little easier. We're going to do another one on exercise and Control-IQ, a very hot topic. And we're also going to do one on some app and use and system optimization, how to really use this thing to get nice tight control. Going to go over some basics today. One of them is going to be on filling the cartridge. I'm going to go over it in real time. I want you guys to see how kind of quick and easy this can get after a time of using the pump, because we have a lot of new users coming to the system, and the cartridge refill is the clumsiest and by far the worst thing about this pump. But wanted to show you what it can be in real time. I did another slowed down step-by-step kind of close-up video. We'll put it in the description or the comments or the post. So check above or below, depending on what platform you're viewing this. So I'm going to start with that and just show you real quick, kind of this is what it looks like when I do it at home, except I don't usually do it up there by my face. So it might be a little clumsy or on camera. Gonna try to keep these videos pretty quick for viewing. I've got some longer videos on the Control-IQ system I did about a year ago now. Can't believe it has been that long. I'm going to fill this with about 300 units just to make it nice and easy to see. But you'll notice that my first fill, I'm not even worrying if there's champagning in there. I'm just using this insulin to get the air out of this cartridge. That's all that's for. Now I'm going to draw up my actual fill insulin. Little tip as I'm doing this, always have an empty insulin syringe on hand. If you have rapid acting carbohydrates and an empty insulin syringe, you have what it takes to get out of a diabetes emergency. So if I can harvest where I am putting the insulin in this pump, I can harvest insulin back out if needed. I have a lot of champagning in this insulin because I put all that air in there really quickly, but there we go, it's settled out. So I can pull the insulin back out. So if I have a set that like rips out and I don't have another one handy because I didn't carry an extra one like I should have, then I can pull the insulin out and use it. Or if I've got a cartridge, you know, for some reason, something happens, I don't use the whole thing, I can pull that insulin out and reuse it. So there we go. So even talking to you guys, it took, you know, not much time to get that together. It didn't take a whole lot of work and effort and things, but it's just a matter of getting used to it. It's a little clunky at first, but kind of all new things are. And it's by, like I said, by far the worst part of this pump. So one other thing I wanted to show you before I dive into use on this thing is a new clip case too. I hate the original T-Slim clip case, that tension spring kind of clip. It's awful. It's either too tight and you can't get it hooked on your pants, or it's too loose and it falls off of everything you try to clip it to. So they have a new clip out. I would assume it's for sale on the site. If not, call them and let them know you'd like one of the new cases. It takes what we liked most about the Medtronic clip, this kind of gator action clip situation, which also rotates, so you can change the orientation of your pump. And they added it to their pump, their sort of standard kind of beveled edge case, which is really nice. It's also nice if you have hand pain or joint issues like I do, I'm RA. It opens this button up, so it's now really easy to push. You don't have to push through that metal or that plastic case. So super handy. Some other tips I wanted to give. One is on your infusion sets. First, if you are using a silhouette on a Medtronic pump or a Sure-T, there are equivalents for that in tandem. The silhouette equates to a Verisoft if you want to put it in manually, an AutoSoft 30 if you wanted a spring-loaded inserter, or if you use the SIL-serter on Medtronic. That's my favorite one. It's super easy and super comfortable to put in, especially for littles. The Sure-T is the True Steel on tandem. And then the Mio or the Quickset would be the AutoSoft XC on tandem. But when you order your pump, it's going to come automatically with the XC. Even if you tell them, I want the Verisoft, it will probably ship with the XC. I'm seeing that a lot. Call Tandem. Before you crack open that box, call them and say, hey, I wanted the Verisoft, you sent the XC, please exchange these. I've had a lot of patients get successful exchanges as long as they haven't opened the box. And so you're not forced to use a set that you didn't want to use. With that, a lot of times we hold off on starting a new pump because we've got all this like dragon's hoard of supplies that we want to use up. Sorry, pardon the ring light. I might occasionally turn into an alien there. But we've got all these supplies because we hoard them because they're like gold. Because they're one-to-one. All of these sets are manufactured by the same company. It's a company called Unimedical. They make them all. The part that goes actually in your skin is the same. The only difference is where it attaches to the pump. With the exception of the Quickset. The Quickset is its own weird thing that there is nothing else like the Quickset. But if the part that goes on your skin on the tandem set looks just like the part that goes on your skin on the Medtronic set. So if it's one of those kind of one-to-one switchovers I just went through, you can use and reuse your tandem tubing with the Medtronic set. So say I'm going from the Silhouette on Medtronic and now I'm using the Verisoft. I can use that Verisoft tubing that came with the tandem set. I can reuse the tubing part and just connect that to my new Silhouette sets. That way I can use up some of that Medtronic supply. I do recommend keeping your old pump and about a month's worth of supplies just in case the world can be a crazy place. That way you've got a kind of backup situation. But you can use those old supplies. That gets a little finagly with the auto inserter sets. Like you would have to run your insulin through your tubing, insert the set. So with the auto, I was just thinking, wait a second, with the AutoSoft XC, you would have to connect the tubing before you run the insulin through. So you'd have to connect your tandem tubing, fill it, put on your Medtronic set, so put on your Mio set, then connect your tubing, then do your cannula fill. With the AutoSoft XC, the tubing connects afterwards anyway. So again, you would fill your tubing, connect your set, and then do your setting or your cannula fill. Moving on from sets, wanted to then also give you a user tip about your cartridge here. Say you need to reuse it, okay? This whole thing is not tandem approved, not FDA approved. None of it is. It's IDS real life approved. So if I've got my cartridge in my pump and I need to reuse it, say my supply order didn't come through, say I ran out of insulin and didn't bring a second set. Oh no. What I want to do is refill my cartridge in my pump. So I don't have to do the air pullout this time because I've already done that. I just want to fill up my syringe, put it in, put in my insulin. That's all I want to do this time. Because if I pop it out and fill it, it's never going to seep down in there properly again, and you'll get a lot of like occlusion alerts, and it might even refuse to use the cartridge. I had that happen. I had taken an extra cartridge with me and extra insulin, and my bag got just mashed, and it actually broke the end off my cartridge, so I couldn't use it. So I had to reuse the cartridge I had, and that's when I found that if you pop it out, it never pops right back in, and you're going to have a rough couple of days after that, which I definitely did. So in using the system, in using Control-IQ, some basics that are going to make the system work better. First one, and kind of most importantly, if you are running Control-IQ, you have to suspend insulin if you're disconnecting the pump. If you don't, it could auto bolus, or it'll be ramping up basal, and it's going to count that toward your IOB, but you're not wearing the pump. So your IOB gets all messed up, and now your corrections for like the next 5 hours are going to not work really well. So disconnect. If you disconnect with Control-IQ on, you have to let the pump know and suspend insulin. If you're going to disconnect for a prolonged period and you don't want it squonking at you every 20 minutes through that, turn Control-IQ off. Now you can disconnect and just let the pump run programmed basal into a towel like I do, like if I go to the pool or the shore or something like that, I'm going to be disconnected for a while. If you're going to disconnect for a pump vacation, plug your pump into the charger, hold that silver T button down for 30 seconds, your pump will go beep, 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 and then it will shut off. And so then you can store it like I've stored mine, because I'm trying on another, I'm demo trying another system right now, but it'll shut off, and that way you can store it without it driving you nuts. In terms of other Control-IQ features, sleep mode. Sleep mode is great if you're not going to use auto bolusing. If you're in a situation, and so it's meant for overnight, getting your blood sugar from good to great, for that nice tight overnight control. So if you're somebody with super tight control, super low standard deviation, really flat post meals, then you can run sleep mode 24/7 to get a ever so slightly lower target. However, if you're going to make any use of that auto mode, if your postprandials are even projected to go above a 160, it's going to behoove you to not have auto mode on, because you're going to, or to not have sleep mode on, because you're going to get those auto boluses, which are really nice. If you are having a rough night, so maybe you went out to dinner or you had pizza for dinner and things are just needing a little extra help. Your carb count wasn't stellar, your timing wasn't amazing, you know, you were having fun, then turn sleep mode off. And again, let auto mode over that night help you kind of beat things into a better shape. Or Control-IQ, yeah, regular mode. I get all of the names for these modes. Can we just, as an industry and as a community, just have one name for it all? It's so confusing to my brain. But let that automation, let those auto boluses help you. The regular Control-IQ is really good at getting things from ugh to good. And then sleep mode is good at getting things from good to great. But sleep mode sucks at getting things from ugh to good. It's just not going to be a big enough, strong enough tool. You want the regular Control-IQ to do that. And exercise mode, think of that as doing about a 30% temp basal decrease. So situations where you would be doing that, maybe some light to moderate exercise. I use it when I go to the grocery store because it's going to be hours of walking. But just like a temp basal, you have to set it in advance. So if you turn it on and then head out on your walk, you're probably going to go low on your way home, because the insulin that was going to make you low was already in you. It didn't give the system a chance to kind of back things off. Timing for sleep mode, I recommend having sleep mode start about 4 to 5 hours after your last meal or snack at night. Again, that way you've got those auto boluses to kind of help beat things into shape a bit more before they then go from good to great. So that's some of your basics, some basics on wearing the pump. Oh, one other one I wanted to give, they recommend when you wear your Dexcom with your pump, that you have the pump on kind of the same side of your body as your Dexcom. So for example, if I've got my Dexcom on my left abdomen or my left arm or my left hip, I'm going to wear my pump on my left. Or at night, if I've got it on my abdomen, I'm going to clip it to the front of my sleep shorts. If I got it on my back, I might clip it to the back of my sleep shorts if I'm a belly sleeper, which I'm a side sleeper, so I wear it on my belly. And wear it screen side out. It really does make a difference. You're going to have a lot less data dropped if you wear it screen side out. That's a real bummer for ladies when we like to tuck it like in our brassiere, because when it lights up, we look like Iron Man with this big blue glow in the middle of our chest. I recommend, if you're going to do that, a really great way to prevent that is a black, they make little satin bags. You can even go on Amazon and just get like a small satin satchel, black or navy blue, and that'll block it a lot of the light. Or little black, the thick cotton baby socks are also great. You can put it in, it really dampens that light, so you don't light up like Iron Man. And so wearing that, trying to wear that screen out really is going to give you better performance. So there are your basics. Feel free to click. We'll include the links again somewhere here for the exercise and for our optimization videos. Thanks for joining us.